supporting independent journalists out there, because if you actually read the headlines of WAPO and New York Times, just read the headlines and go, okay, what's 180 degrees opposite of what they're saying? And in fact, that's what you're going to find independent journalists out there reporting, the real news. So everybody that's reading headlines today, please do yourself a favor and say, what is the exact opposite of this headline if you're reading the fake news media, and understand that's in fact what's going on. Yesterday, we saw Vice President Pence, after Charlie Kirk, which did an amazing job raising the roof, Vice President Pence came on and spoke, and I've never seen him more energized. Have you?
I have never seen him more energized. Maybe he's gearing up for 2024. You know what I mean? He's getting ready, but who knows? He's really, really on it, and he did a great speech. He was not the rigid Mike Pence that we once had. He's really coming into his own. I think he's molding himself in the mold of President Trump a little bit. He's starting to understand that politics today is not the politics of yesterday. We want human beings. We don't want fossils. We don't want stone, stiff people. And he's coming into his own. I love seeing it.
He had a fighting spirit.
Yeah, he did. He really did, and we need it right now because he's been tasked to overhead the corona oversight. So maybe that was part of it. He's trying to exude his personality and make sure that everybody sees he's not deterred and he's not worried.
Yeah, you know what, and that's really a very interesting point, because when President Trump did the trip to India and met with Prime Minister Modi, what an incredible show of unity that was. A country that came out by the millions to support our president, who represents more than just America at this point. He's showing us a beacon of light and freedom, and the fact that it's okay to be proud of your own country, to have your own sovereignty, and have your own populist movement. And India stood side by side with our president. And frankly, what a strategic move, okay? So sadly, the coronavirus has really impacted Asia in a horrible way, and that's a tragedy all unto itself. We could talk about in a separate show. But, you know, it has really shined a spotlight on the fact that thanks to the globalists and thanks to the previous administrations, and that includes both parties before President Trump, they put all their eggs in one basket with WHO and China. And we really, unfortunately, have ourselves, you know, single source to a lot of stuff. A lot of our economy is tied to the Chinese markets, and that's not a good thing. So we're seeing right now with this virus, when 70% of the people were unable to go to work, and you're seeing a lot of the Chinese businesses offline. So frankly, it is a really strategic move. And I remember when President Trump first took office, Joey, do you remember this? One of the first phone calls he made was to Prime Minister Modi. And they spoke, and I thought to myself, that's interesting. He's now going to align himself with the next largest populace on the planet that are hardworking, industrial Democrat. They have a democracy over there, democratic government. And we're going to have to, you know, substitute and start to wean ourselves off China, which is, you know, the IP theft and just in general the threat they've been to us militarily speaking, and get aligned with a country that's more in line with our values.
Yes. Not
a communist country. You know, what are your thoughts here on this?
Well, it's funny that we always assumed that China was the only natural heir to the global economy, and we've ignored India all this time. India is one of the most incredible places for people to go. When you see people working in the United States in big tech, most of these places are 30-40% Indian. They're coming over here. They are trained coding in primary school. Right now, they're learning those skills. We're not even learning those skills. These are the people of the future in technology. As we get more globalized with technology, as robots and automation take over, India is going to do far better than China. And I think Trump knows that. Trump is getting ahead of that curve. China is on the brink of a rebellion, I think. You saw what happened in Hong Kong. Now you see the dishonesty that was going on with this coronavirus. People are fed up. The Chinese people, though we don't know it, we don't see that they're angry. They're not happy. They're not dumb. They know that they're being lied to. So they are not going to sit and take it lying down. I think President Xi, with this response to the coronavirus, how he let it escape, how he let all these people die, I have a feeling that he is going to really regret that. And I know that, you know, people say, okay, it's China. They'll just mow them all down. Doesn't matter. No, they're not going to do that in this time and space because President Trump will not allow it.
Ever again.
Exactly. And again, the message, the tone, the leadership from our president is absolutely on top of things like I've never seen him before. He is leading this country into a place that we haven't seen in the past 40 or 50 years. So I'm actually very, very encouraged by what I'm seeing with his response to the coronavirus, and putting Vice President in charge of the task force for corona is absolutely necessary. because of the fear porn and the fear porn mongering by mainstream media.
One's mine.
And what I see is a concerted effort by globalists that have their, control over very significant market makers, the Morgan Stanleys of the world, and other people that are moving the markets with massive sell-offs and selling into the fear porn of coronavirus like it's going to take out the United States. Let's be clear. The reason you're not going to see a massive case of corona in terms of death in the United States is because we have the best health care in the world. We, even people that are homeless on the streets can walk into an emergency room anywhere in their city and get care. Now, are they going to have to pay for it? No. Are you and I paying for it? 100%. We're paying for that, which is why our health care costs have skyrocketed because of the stupidity of the federal government getting involved in insurance and trying to, get involved in health care. Again, Joey, where does it say in the Constitution that the federal government is supposed to provide us health care? It doesn't. And we need to get the government decoupled from our health care system. Again, that's a whole other conversation. But getting back to corona, it's fear porn mongering at its greatest with these horrible people that are trying to take away the incredible work President Trump has done. They're trying to tie the market tanking right now to him over corona. In fact, they've timed it poorly. They're so full of rage and hatred of this president since the impeachment hoax failed and Russia hoax failed and Ukraine hoax failed. They're trying to say coronavirus is on top of the president. You know what? If they really were smart about it, they would have tried to do this later in the election cycle. And they're too stupid, they're too greedy, and they don't understand this is now going to create an amazing buying opportunity again because the market's going to go right back. We were doing great until these people decided to take what? Never let a good crisis go to waste, right, Rahm Emanuel?
The market is going to soar probably right around September, October now. And who's going to get the credit? President Trump.
Exactly.
These people really don't understand how to time things. They don't understand anything. They're so angry, like you said. The Democrats are filled with rage right now. Look at their debate, man. I mean, you look at these people and you see them up there. They're screaming over each other. They're furious. The happiest one up there with the biggest chance to win, he looks angrier than everybody I've ever seen, Mr. Bernie Sanders. He can't even have a conversation without screaming. So they're in a desperate position. So what do? Now we talk about the coronavirus. They've already tried to market it on Twitter as the Trump virus and the Pence-demic. These are the buzzwords from the Democrat Party. Rather than taking this seriously and actually wanting to help people, inform people of the real deal, they're trying to politicize it. Nancy Pelosi said that, we need to go ahead and just hold President Trump accountable for what's going on with it. What are you talking about, Nancy Pelosi? What are you talking about? Then Elizabeth Warren comes out with a bill that she wants to redirect all the funding from the border wall to go to fight the coronavirus. These are things, I sound like I'm reading headlines from The Onion, but these are things that actually happen. And we just cannot have a country where a response to something like this is politics. A response needs to be smart, precision, medical. And President Trump, he put Vice President Pence in charge. President Pence has a team underneath him that's very well informed, and they don't seem to be so worried. So I won't be so worried either.
You know what's funny, Joey? I can't recall the person's name, but it seemed to me that not too long ago, President Trump let somebody from the CDC go. And this is an interesting response by the CDC and how they've handled things, WHO and CDC. Again, government bureaucracies, I don't ever feel comfortable with them running anything. Look at our post office. Look at anything the government gets involved in.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, here she is.
Oh, my goodness.
President Trump team in Florida.
And a MAGA Friday to you, young lady, and a wonderful guest here at the Conservative Watch Hour. Sorry for got caught up in a little tangle there, but I'm here, and I'm so happy to welcome Joey here. Joey, how are you, my dear friend?
Doing well. We're having a great time here among all our friends at CPAC. It's an awesome, awesome annual reunion of the conservative movement as we're getting fired up for 2020.
Yes, indeed we are. Well, we've been fired up. We're ahead of the curve here a little bit, Trump Team 2024, as we continue to do all the hard work that we're doing right here on the ground in our grassroots efforts. And I'm so delighted and happy that you are able to join us today, because I do know that American Priorities, and you guys are doing some really terrific work as well. And Ann, I've been listening to your conversation there, and I'll tell you, it is so vitally important to get this message out, because indeed, this fear-mongering and the different things that are happening, and and unfortunately, truly affecting our markets. But, I think there was a little room for adjustment anyway. But that being said, Joey, tell us a bit, and I apologize for coming on a little bit late, but tell us a little bit about what you're doing with American Priorities, my dear.
Yeah, so I'm the director of marketing with American Priority. We have a lot of exciting things going on right now. Of course, we had the AmpFest down in Florida last October.
Fabulous, yes. I was so honored to be a speaker and a sponsor for that event. It was tremendous.
Yes, and we will have you back as well as so many other people October 8th through 12th. We're going to do it right back at the Trump Doral again, because what better venue than the one that our president has created? He has the best properties ever.
Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
And last night, we launched our foundation, a 501c3 pending foundation. We're going to push the universal right to free speech. We want to take this movement far beyond the borders of the United States, because free speech is under attack not only in this country, but it's not even realized in many countries. You look at the UK, you look at Germany, where people are arrested for tweets routinely. Just as routinely as somebody's arrested here for a traffic violation, you see free speech violations, people going to jail. And we want to liberate these people. We want the universal right of free speech to be realized, and we'll do that through opening new social media technologies and supporting people like new media, like what you and Ann do and what so many other people do, excellent social media companies that are realizing this dream of free speech. Because honestly, I hate to call it a dream, but it's starting to look like that when we look at our Twitter feeds, we look at our Facebook feeds, and we just see deplatforming. We look at CPAC. You see so many people. I mean, I can't tell you, me and Ann have been walking around, and it's like, oh, wow, I forgot that person existed, because they've been deplatformed so badly that you don't even remember them.
Well, and I'm going through that myself personally right now. Facebook has had me blocked from sharing all of my groups, all of my sites, which I have many, many, many of them, since December, and they blocked me until the end of March. So I've been asking my friends on social media to please share my information out, because they won't allow me to share it out. And that's the suppression part of it. It's a terrible thing that they do.
Yeah, they've done the same thing to me. I'm May 2nd before I can share anything, and I have several groups, and I can't even share in my own groups. So my personal account is censored till May 2nd. This is what they're doing. They're targeting all the conservative voices they possibly can, rounding us up. I'm surprised they haven't deleted me. They deleted Twitter. I'm waiting for Facebook to go down. But I have to just comment, Joey. The American Priority Foundation that they're starting for free speech, I was honored to be invited to their get-together last night. They had a very nice group of people that they handpicked to attend, and just because I know Joey, I know that's why they were so gracious to extend me an invitation. But what an amazing group of people they assembled that are getting behind this organization's launch of this foundation to tackle this problem. And American Priorities really is coming on the scene so strongly with an alternative group to CPAC, which is huge, and I want to see CPAC keep going. But you know what? You can't have all your eggs in one basket. We have to have more organizations like American Priorities. And one of the things I like about American Priorities is the fact that it doesn't have the word conservative in their name, and not because I don't want to promote conservatism, but because we're all Americans, and let's get our values aligned, and let's align ourselves around what our founding fathers wrote for us. And this is what America was founded on, the founding and guiding principles of our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. And this is what American Priorities is focused on, and they promote it. So you know what? Invite everybody, and they represent the MAGA movement, which, as we know, is not just right or left. It's the people that are in the center that are aligning themselves with our founding fathers' principles. And it's a beautiful thing to look around the room. Joey and I went to Trump last night at the hotel here, and I said to Joey, I said, look around the room. Does this look like a bunch of conservative, old, white starched shirts? And it was the most unique, diverse tent. There was everybody there last night. I said, this is MAGA. This is beautiful.
Yeah, the MAGA movement has completely recreated the Republican Party, and it's completely recreated the entire image that the world has of the Republican Party. We used to be known, even when I was younger, you would look at it, the Democrats were the cool people, they were the celebrities, they were the exciting cultural icons, and the Republicans were the old, boring George W. Bushes of the world.
Right.
And now I mean, that party, there were drag queens, there were dancers, there were stars, actresses. Seriously.
And some stuffed shirts.
Yes, there were some stuffed shirts. But you know what? It was a diverse, beautiful movement. And that is what America is. America is founded on honor, integrity, and freedom, liberty to be who you want. And
Absolutely.
The Democrat Party, now the American Priority Foundation is nonpartisan. So this is just me speaking. The Democrat Party has really, really become the party of monoliths. They do not want people to go out from the fray. They do not want different people. Now, they say they're a party of diversity, but they're not. What is diverse about everybody thinking the exact same way? If you do not think that way, you must be removed. You must be silenced. The Republican Party, we're saying, welcome you all. Come all and love your country, love God, love family, and you're welcome here.
Well,
Amen.
Right along, amen to that, and following right along with that, I will tell you that Trump Team 2020 Florida, this is where we are, because our door is open to all independents, conservative Democrats. We have turned so many Democrats that have come in to all of our different chapters here in the state of Florida and have turned and become Republican, but most importantly, we're Americans. You know, at the end of the day, I always say I'd love to be able to get rid of that R, get rid of that D, and make us all a big old A, because we are indeed, as I said, nonpartisan. We're not affiliated with any candidate in particular. We are conservative, but our door's open because there are so many independents that are conservative, so many Republicans, Democrats that are turning. They're so conservative, and they can't live with what the Democrat Party is presenting to them anymore. I had a conversation with a very dear friend of mine, staunch liberal, for Democrat, I should say, for many, many years. I've known him for many, many years, and you know, he said to me, it's very difficult to look at this and that we have to choose from being a communist socialist. That's not what the Democrat is about anymore. It's just really, it's hard for them to wrap themselves around their own party. So that's why we work so hard at what we do. And I really applaud you, Joey, and American Priorities, and certainly Ann, for all the things that we do. And being able to have this platform that we have here right now with the wonderful, beautiful WOCA, The Source, at 96.3 FM and 1370 AM. And we keep reminding people of this when I go from show to show and networks and iHeart stations, and we continue to send this on because this is how we get our message out. You know, I had a conversation this morning with someone that asked me once again about President Trump's tweeting. I said, are you kidding me? Tweet away, Mr. President, continue to tweet away. That's how he's able to get his message out, you see? Because we can't, the mainstream media certainly won't put out the true facts, so I applaud you. I'm on my 1 minute, just about a minute here, and we're going to go to a commercial break. And Joey, we'd love to have you stay on the line with us and wrap this up. And Ann, we're going to get into some interesting details on our local state level here in Florida and some of the bills that we got coming up and things like that. So, Joey, I'd like to just, again, applaud you for all the work that you all are doing at American Priorities. And keep up the good work. We'll be back in, let's see, how much time do I see? That's just it.
20 seconds.
I got 20 seconds. See that? I can't see. Though I did get my new glasses. It's me, but I did get new glasses. That's okay, folks. Listen, first and foremost, I'd like to welcome you all again.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Lillian Wu. A sell-off on Wall Street with the Dow down over 1,000 points at one point this morning. Meanwhile, the latest read on consumer confidence is in.
It's very strong, coming in at 101, better, slightly better than the estimate. And this is for the final reading for January. This is very near, if not beyond, a 2-year high.
Fox's Ashley Webster. Democrats want to be president, making their pitches to voters ahead of tomorrow's primary in South Carolina, where state polls show the former Vice President Joe Biden in the lead.
This state is critical for Biden. It's been called his firewall, the diving board to catapult him into Super Tuesday to win the nomination. But the current frontrunner, Senator Bernie Sanders, is not going down without a fight. The Vermont senator knocked the former vice president out of first place for the first time in a Fox national poll.
Fox's Ellison Barber in South Carolina. America's listening to Fox News.
8 candidates.
All of our people are entitled to basic human rights.
14 states.
Progressive is getting things done, and that's what we got done.
Over 1,000 delegates at stake.
Only ways to solve the poverty problem is to get people a good education.
Fox News Democracy 2020 presents Super Tuesday.
The Democratic Party is a progressive party.
Coverage kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox News Radio. Listen live on the Fox News app. We've toiled and triumphed.
We choose to go to the moon.
And pushed mankind to new worlds. We fought for justice.
A turning point in man's search for freedom.
And freed a continent.
Tear down this wall.
But perhaps our greatest achievement isn't thanks to an athlete or an astronaut. It's at the very core of our country. Our greatest achievement is in your hands. Democracy 2020. Fox News. America.
Sunny and cooler today, high 63 to 66. Tonight, mainly clear and cool, low 43. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 64 to 68. Sunday, remaining sunny, high 70 to 73. Monday and Tuesday, pleasant with plenty of sunshine again. High Monday, 77 to 79. High Tuesday, 79 to 83.
The Ocala RV Show is Thursday, February 27th through Sunday, March 1st at the Florida Horse Park. North Central Florida's largest RV show is back with participating dealers from all over Florida. Hundreds of RVs on display. Tickets $5 for adults. Kids under 16 are free. Buy one, get one free Thursday only. First responders save $2 every day. Register to win 2 gift cards every day. No purchase necessary. The Ocala RV Show at the Florida Horse Park. This is how we roll.
Come to the 7th Annual Habitat Strawberry Festival on March 7th, 2020 at the McPherson Government Complex. The festival will have vendors, food, a car show, a kids zone, live entertainment, pie eating contests, and all things strawberry. All to also raise funds to build a habitat home for a family in our community. Check out the website, habitatocala.org, and follow the link. The Habitat for Humanity Strawberry Festival is Saturday, March 7th, with breakfast served at 7:30. Free admission, $5 parking. See you there.
Okay, here we are. We're back with the Conservative Watch Hour on the second half of the show here. Miss Ann Vandersteel, my co-host with SteelTruth.com. And we have Joey from the American Priorities. Joey, so give us a wrap-up, my dear. What are your plans? I know that you mentioned that you're going to have another event at the Trump Doral in October, but for our listening audience, can you just give us that information again?
Yes, October 8th through the 11th, we are going to have AmFest 2020. It's AmFest election year, so we are going to do it really big this year. We are going to bring Florida home for President Trump with the help of people like you, Annie. And we are going to make sure that we focus on culture, free speech, and all the things that make America great. So that's AmFest 2020 at the Trump Doral in Miami. We also have an event coming up in May in Houston. And we're taking AmFest maybe internationally. We just can't announce anything yet. But it's being thought about very seriously.
And it should be. I mean, countries like the Netherlands might be the next country to eject from the EU.
Yes, we are the people that always have spurred the world's intentions. Brexit happened because of the UK, but don't think they were not inspired by the fighting spirit of America, who broke away from them in 1776. We are always the inspiration of freedom around the world.
Amen.
We're going to stay that way.
Let's go, MAGA.
Absolutely. Now, Joey, what I'd like to do is if you could announce to our listening audience, how would they get in touch with American Priorities to get tickets for that event?
Absolutely. Now, the tickets for the October event, AmFest 2020, they will go on sale within the next 2 weeks. And you can go to AmericanPriority.com, and you will be able to get all your tickets there. We will have pre-sale tickets, and those are the ones you want because I think they're always coming with a little bit of extra benefit when you buy them early. And we'll tell you all about it. I can't say anything just yet, but get them early so they don't sell out, because last year I think we hit capacity right around the end. But this year, from what I'm hearing, we may be hitting capacity way sooner.
How can you not be? You're on the Trump property in a Trump re-election year.
Exactly. It's going to be pretty serious. So if you want to get in, you better get in quick.
Absolutely. And they'll have sponsorships available, right?
Absolutely. I mean, if people are interested in sponsoring, they can give us a ring over at AmericanPriority.com. The number's there, and you will see all the various options. We want to help everybody. If you sell Trump-related things, but you got to be MAGA. We don't want people that are not MAGA to be advertising. We just don't want it. We want to keep it within the family. We love our president, and we don't want to sit there and be sellouts. There's too many sellouts in our movement. There's too many sellouts in our world. We don't need that. We are here for one purpose. That is freedom, make America great again, and we're going to stay that way.
Well, I'll tell you.
Way to go.
That makes sense to me. MAGA Friday with a MAGA message. I love it. Joey, I certainly do appreciate you taking this time to be with us here at WOCA, and enjoy the rest of your time at CPAC. I know you guys will continue to do a great job. Keep up the great work, and I will definitely see you at the American Priorities Festival Conference in Doral in Miami.
And
I'll be there.
hopefully before then. All right, Annie. Thank you so much, and thank you, Ann.
Blessings to you all.
All right.
All right, Miss Ann, let's talk about some Florida issues. I think we have a very important issue we should be talking about. There are many of them, but currently right now, I kind of want to go into a few things. First of all, Trump Team 2020 Florida, as you know, we have many chapters around the state of Florida, and we just had a magnificent event in the Villages for our Village chapter. That's Trump Team 2020 Florida, the Village chapter, and we had Professor David Dilley do a presentation that literally left me with my jaw on the floor. I could not believe what I was watching and what he presented, which has to do with the so-called global warming, which is a complete hoax. But this gentleman, this professor that specializes in his expertise is doing this, and he's been doing this for many, many years as a meteorologist, and on it goes. But he was able to show us exactly how it's the complete opposite. We are not, as the cycles go, and the peaks go, and the cycles go, we are not in any way, shape, or form going into global warming. We're actually going into global cooling. The complete opposite. Global cooling. So it's going to be interesting. I will have the professor on with us here, and we will continue to have him around the state of Florida and our many different chapters and our many different organizations that Trump Team 2020 Florida partners up with around the state. And this is the information and so much more that we put out there. I look forward to having him right here in Ocala. We certainly work with the Rocky Stacey, which is the chairman here in Marion County for the Republican Executive Committee. We'll have Trevor Loudon come in to speak about socialism. And I know Trevor Loudon, is he not magnificent?
He is fantastic.
Is he not fantastic?
You know, what an incredible voice and mind for the reasons why America is the beacon of hope and the shining city on the hill. Here's a gentleman, a Kiwi from New Zealand, who understands leaving a socialist country and coming to America, what it means and why it's so important to maintain the fight, and why Bernie Sanders as the alternative candidate simply can never happen. I mean, you know, you look at him, he articulates the message so beautifully. He speaks historically. He speaks from examples that he's lived himself.
Precisely.
And then you compare it to the amount of people that have left Venezuela. What, 5 million people have fled that country, and look at the despair that country's in. Their own currency is lining street gutters. In fact, it would be more valuable as toilet paper at this point than trash on the street, because maybe there's an application there. It's just, it's incredible. And unfortunately, you know, our millennials have been so poisoned by the education system in this country. They think socialism is a good idea because they don't understand that money doesn't grow on trees and that other people have to pay for these free things they think they're getting. It just doesn't work that way. So, gosh, I'm so glad you have him coming on, Annie. That's fantastic.
Absolutely, absolutely. And he can certainly articulate the message and the difference between socialism and capitalism, and why certainly America is in no way, shape, or form. When we look at the options that the Democrat Party is presenting us, we go from Elizabeth Warren with Democrat Party is progressive to Bernie. Well, we're communist socialists. What is the Democrat Party anymore? And when you watch and see what do they have to offer, what are they actually presenting outside of getting up on that stage and saying, Trump is bad, Trump is a racist, Trump is bad, and Trump is this and Trump is that, which are all complete lies. And people really, even the Democrats, are just sick and tired of hearing that. They want to hear, what are you going to do for us outside of what Bernie has presented? Because the only one that really has presented any kind of a platform of what they're going to do is Bernie. And what Bernie's presenting is that he would like to take us exactly to where Venezuela is, where we will be literally, they're down, and it's so sad. It's so sad to where they're eating dog meat, and it's terrifying what's happened. This is what they have to offer, and this is all they have to offer. Forget about it. So, moving right along, though, I will tell you that.
Can I just comment on that real quick?
Oh, yes, please.
Part of their plan in order to make that. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Annie?
Yes.
Can you hear me
Hang
now?
on 1 second here. My apologies, my dear.
That's okay. Can you hear me now, sweetheart?
Now, yes, I can.
Okay, great. Part of their plan is to obviously, you know, the whole we don't want the wall, don't build the wall, you know, Trump's crazy about the wall, is to obviously they want to keep the infiltration of illegal aliens in this country to upset the electorate and accomplish voter fraud, right? They're so desperate to do this. And, you know, part of the things that we're now going to be talking about and exposing is this ballot harvesting and the application of, you know, being able to basically commit voter fraud by ballot harvesting here in the state of Florida. And they're trying to do it all over the country right now. And it's, you know, Mike Hill, is our representative from Northern Florida, has got a bill out there to combat ballot harvesting. And I think we need to tell people what ballot harvesting is and what it means in terms of poisoning the well, diluting the actual electorate that's here in the state of Florida legally allowed to vote versus the people they're trying to now harvest ballots and create a whole sense of, you know, of voter fraud essentially to flip Florida blue, because if they don't flip the electorate in Florida, they can't win the election. And Florida, we know, is still very critical to the pathway to the reelection of President Donald J. Trump.
Yes, it is.
So let's get into that a little bit.
Yes, let's get into that. Let's get into that, and that's a perfect segue, because this is so very important for us, and our listening audience certainly can make a difference. And this is why we bring these topics, state topics, national topics, local topics, but this one is so vitally important. Ballot harvesting. We have a House bill that is sponsored by Representative Mike Hill. It's House Bill number 1159. We only have a very short period of time to get this bill out of the committee. Legislative session is in session now. It has to get out of the committee to get onto the floor, to be able to be voted on, to become a law. That's how the process works. Well, this particular bill, currently the way it stands, and this has been going on, the Democrats have been doing this for decades. They first started doing this, Ann, with nursing homes. 20 plus years ago, I would see that they'd go into the nursing homes and some of these folks literally with Alzheimer's, and they'd have them just signed, and then they would fill in Democrat, and they would take that ballot, and then they take that ballot and they hand deliver it and turn it into the supervisor of elections office by the thousands and thousands. Well, what's happened is that now we hear of assisted living facilities. Well, assisted living facilities, they've popped up on every other corner, so to speak, as fast as the the gas stations and the Wawas now, and CVS and Walgreens, in every corner. And what's happening is that they're doing the same exact process, going in and getting these folks to sign, and then they fill out their ballot and turn it in. Well, that is illegal. That is illegal. Fraud. It is voter fraud, yes, without a doubt. But the point is that it's only a misdemeanor currently. And what they're doing...
That's right.
That's right. It's just a misdemeanor. And what they're doing when they bring in busloads of people from another state, a different state, to come in and do this illegal action in the state of Florida, then they leave. Well, they're not going to be extradited back to the state of Florida on a misdemeanor. So that's why this bill is so important. And major kudos to Representative Mike Hill. He's out of the Panhandle. He has many other wonderful bills as well. And kudos to him, because his bill makes this a felony, a third-degree felony for anyone.
As it should be.
Yes.
As it should be.
Yes, indeed, my dear friend. And by doing that, then we will and can extradite them back. So they will look at it and take a second look and say, do I take a chance? I can go to prison for this now. You're paying me, the Democrats are. But the problem that we're having currently, and this is what our listening audience needs to know, and that's why it's so vitally important. The problem that we currently have is that we do not have the support on the Republican side of the state legislature here in Florida. The state legislature.
Why is that? I mean, don't they support President Trump, our Republican legislature? Shouldn't they be behind making sure the voter integrity in the state of Florida is sound, so that we who are working so hard at the grassroots level to reelect Donald J. Trump as our president in 2020, why don't they want to get behind this? I don't understand this.
Well, there's shenanigans on both sides. We have a deep state right here in the state of Florida, and I'm not shy about talking about the fact that I have mentioned time after time that the chairman of the Republican Party of Florida, Joe Grudas, we have a problem here. Ground control to Major Tom, when we start off with a chairman that his very first bill that he filed is Senate Bill number 438 to allow transgenders into the bathroom with our little girls. And I was just flabbergasted, but I went into action. We went into action. That's what we do. We take action. And we stopped that bill that he wanted to pass to let these transgender in the bathrooms with our little girls. I know gay people and gay men, and they do not want that. They don't agree with it. So that was in complete opposition of our president, because the very first thing that President Trump did it was to take away, because even if we put the transgender issue to the side, the negative economic impact to every small business in this country, the foundation of this country, would have been impacted so badly. So why would this man want to be pushing something like that, which is in complete opposition of our president? And it goes on further and further. With that being said, we the people, and we the conservatives, and when I say the legislature, it's not all of it, but we have certain individuals that are blocking this bill. So what we are doing is putting out a call to action which you can go to Trump Team 2020 Florida on Facebook. We're going to be putting up the names of every single representative on that committee that we need to call and politely ask them to please pass House Bill number 1159, that's 1159, to make sure it gets to the governor so he can sign this in and we can stop this voter fraud. Everyone asks me, so many people ask me all the time, Annie, how can we get this voter fraud stopped? You know, there's so much voter fraud going on here in this county and here in this county. Well, this is one major way to take a huge bite and chunk out of them being able to do this anymore. But we need the people's help, because we have our some folks that are putting some blocks to stop this bill to move forward. It makes no sense whatsoever. We need this to move forward. We need it to get on the governor's desk. And as I said, I will be putting it up on my personal page, but certainly also on the Facebook page of Trump Team 2020 Florida. Like the page, get on there, call those numbers, ask these committee members that are on there, which are other House representatives from around the state, to please pass this bill and protect our voting integrity in the state of Florida. This must happen.
Well, Annie, this is extremely important. I mean, we have seen a massive influx of the good citizens from Puerto Rico who have been displaced from earthquakes and Hurricane Maria.
Mm-hmm.
We have a massive, new voting bloc coming in from that island nation. And frankly, I think this absolutely needs to be addressed. And, the pushback really should be is that, this bill makes it a penalty, like you said, from a misdemeanor to a felony, so that we can actually extradite people back into the state if they're coming here to commit ballot harvesting, because the current law is allowing anyone to collect up to 10 ballots. So you can walk into any nursing home with memory care units and whatever, where these people are clearly incompetent. They can't make a decision for themselves because sadly they don't know where they are. This is the unfortunate thing with people who suffer memory problems or any other problems. They're blind, whatever it is, and they're being taken advantage of. Their vote is being absconded by these ballot harvesters who are then voting on their behalf, and probably not in the way that they would want to vote. And the bill that Mike Hill is pushing allows only 2 ballots to be done, yours and an immediate family member. So I could basically vote on, help my child if they're away at school or what have you, something like that. So a certified caregiver in the nursing home or assisted living possibly could collect some more. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but the most important thing was, let's make this a felony, because we've got to have some teeth to prosecute this. I mean, look what's happened in California. This is a voter fraud that took over California, is the ballot harvesting. It's extraordinary that this goes on. And it's just a testament, by the way, in spite of all of this, right? President Trump is at an all-time high in terms of popularity, and the way he won was the legitimate way you're supposed to win. We're based on electoral college, and we have to continue to work with these principles, because I can tell you, Annie, there's groups here, even at CPAC, that are pushing for the popular vote. I can't believe it. It's unconstitutional. I'm shocked by it, but these people are here representing that. And I think to myself, either they're stupid or they're trying to go against this country and the Founding Fathers' principles.
They're infiltrators, honey. They're infiltrators. They'll call themselves whatever they want to call themselves. I know several of them even here in the state of Florida, and they'll make up a name, and it sounds. Look, I know an organization called MAGA Coalition. There's nothing MAGA about that coalition whatsoever. These people are not for Trump. And they'll make up a name, and they'll sound like, oh, geez, it sounds wonderful. And they take advantage. They take advantage of people. They take advantage of people, which is awful.
That organization. It's pretty bad when Politico, who's a left-leaning publication, actually calls out the MAGA coalition along with a few other fake super PACs. It's pretty amazing that they actually. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute,
and they
Politico's trying to support the president? Oh my God, what's going on here?
That's right. That's right. But and it was publicly put out there, and the president made it clear as to who is legally can fundraise and do the things for, and MAGA Coalition is not one of them, and they made it very clear. But there are others right here in Florida that are doing the same thing, and they're collecting all kinds of money and just putting it right into their pockets. They're not helping our president whatsoever. But then when we get, in addition to those organizations doing that, when we get to the state legislature and we have the chairman of the Republican Party in direct opposition of our president. And now, we can make a difference to stop this voter fraud with House Bill number 1159. Folks, please do your homework. Make the phone calls. Call the state legislator. Call Mike Hill. Thank him. Thank Representative Mike Hill for bringing this forward. We're going to be doing some extremely important work on this issue right now, because it's vitally important for every single person, and there have been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds that have contacted me and complained about voter fraud. Here's your opportunity to make a difference. Support us and make these phone calls. Please go to Trump Team 2020 Florida. Give me about an hour or so. I'm going to have all the names up on there where you could call very politely, folks. I ask you always, very politely, just say, listen, I'm calling to ask you to please vote for House Bill number 1159 to get this out of committee and get it to the governor's desk. We need to stop the voter fraud. Very politely.
Amen.
We can make a difference.
Amen.
Yes,
Well,
indeed.
this is how we do it. We ask for the help of the people. I mean, we are a nation that's supposed to be governed by the people, for the people, of the people. So, and here's the thing: if we, the people, don't actually pay attention to this stuff, we have nobody but ourselves to blame. And when we're standing here going, "Why are we a socialist country?" Well, it's because we didn't act. I mean, President Trump is one man, and gosh, he has definitely got the hand of God working through him and has been for this time, and we are so grateful for that, and for all the spiritual advisors, Pastor Paula White and others, Pastor Maldonado in Miami, and many more great people. But let's not be complacent. We have to just, a 60-second effort to pick up the phone and make a call. Let's do it, folks. Let's make that phone call to the state representatives, and let's ask them politely to please vote in support of House Bill 1159 so that we can make, ballot harvesting a felony. We don't want people voting on our behalf. Would you want someone going into the nursing home where your mother or father is and taking their vote away? I mean, that's just simply not right. Isn't it?
Right. Well, you're not even there.
Take care of our parents.
Exactly. Well, you're not even there. Exactly, because they don't do it while they have their family members there. They come in on the slide when no one's there, and they have these folks, and half the times they don't even remember that they signed it.
Of course not. Of course not. And, it's just abhorrent. It's really abhorrent. Well, I got to say, I think America's going to step up and do the right thing again. I believe everybody's on board. I believe that we're going to see through this coronavirus fear porn mongering that's going on right now. The president is steady. We have Mike Pence controlling the coronavirus task force. I know they have already taken action, and they took definitive action long before the media even reported on it. They started closing down borders, things that were unpopular, of course, and closing access from certain countries to America long before it was even reported, because they saw this coming. But again, like the left always does, never let a good crisis go to waste. They're politicizing this, making it ugly, and they're trying to blame the president for the virus. Well, for goodness sake, the president didn't create the virus. This is, we have flu season that kills far more people than the coronavirus every year. And it's kind of more hype.
So ridiculous.
But again,
it's so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I'm having a blast now. I know, I wanted to take my own precautions because I was sick some time ago, and I didn't want to subject myself to coronavirus and get on a plane. But, excuse me, you are a brave woman, and we're just about getting ready to wrap up here. But I'll tell you, I'm in studio, and this is so much fun because I'm actually at a mall where the people going by can see me and hear me, and they're going by with their thumbs up, and we have 1 minute to go here. Thumbs up, right on, another beautiful lady. And so this is great. Listen, I appreciate you. God bless you for all that you do. We will continue. So ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned with us here at WOCA, FM 96.3 and AM 1370. The Conservative Watch Hour will be on every Friday at 11 o'clock. We will bring you our state, local, and national and international updates as we get closer to a victory for America in November 2020. And with that, if you would like to reach me, you can reach me at trumpteam2020fl@gmail.com, or you can call 561-34, 561-779-3535. We thank you all. We appreciate you listening. And please go to Trump Team 2020 Florida for the update.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Lillian Wu. Stocks sinking on Wall Street with the Dow down more than 1,000 points at session lows, way down by intensifying coronavirus worries in California. A patient may have contracted the virus through community spread.
This patient does represent